I hope the wind's not going to be so strong it's going to mess up the audio. Hello, everyone. This is Don Biggyfoot Neal. It is Friday, February 28th, about 12:05 p.m., I guess that would be. And just wanted to stop and give a report and an update on some things been going on my Biggyfoot Facebook page. I appreciate all you people. I have 1,480 some odd friends on my Biggyfoot page. Then I have a personal page where I take care of my ministry, and I've got 900 some odd friends, and all of them know about my Bigfooting, and they're always asking me questions. So when I make these videos, believe me, it's because I've got several people asking me the latest updates. So let me fill you in, and I'll be as quick as I can be. I'm at a place right now, by the way, while I'm filming, of a known Bigfoot sighting. And a few years ago, I came here, and it's on my YouTube page. If you look on my YouTube page, I have a video where I was standing at this very exact spot about 2 o'clock in the morning, and a head started popping up over a brush pile over here in this field. And for several minutes, that wind's really blowing, the head popped up and down and moved in and out, and it was a very interesting, and I feel personally that it was a Bigfoot watching me from that pile. I really believe that. I'm sincere when I tell you that. But let me get on with the updates and everything. All right, so first of all, last week I told that a man from that lives down near the Kentucky-Tennessee border had contacted me and asked me if I would come to his property with him. He has seen 3 different Bigfoot. He's been having lots of Bigfoot activity there, and he really wants someone to come and research. So Don Atkins from the BFRO and myself agreed to go to the man's property. We were supposed to go tonight. I announced this last week, and since then everyone's been asking me what's going on with that. Here's what happened. We have checked the weather, and tonight it's supposed to be about 25 degrees in that area. It's a 2-hour drive from where I live, and so if we went and squatched till 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm facing a 2-hour drive home, and they're calling for possible sleet and freezing rain. So we decided to be better judgment to go next Friday. I believe next Friday night is March the 6th. The National Weather Service extended forecast said it will be 37 degrees and clear skies, a lot better weather to squatch in, and easier 2-hour drive home for an old man. I'm an old man, don't ever forget. And to people that complain, and there's always complainers, you know, they say, well, I'd get on it, I'd go immediately, No, you'll go when you can go, when you're a full-time minister and pastor. And I always want to remind people, being nice as I can be, that I do not full-time Bigfoot. I'm not a professional, I'm not an expert, don't claim to be. I'm a minister, a pastor. I have a full, enjoyable life, and Bigfooting is what I do for a hobby. And a lot of people think you shouldn't do that. Well, it just happens to be my hobby. So I don't go immediately. I'll go when it's better on this old man to sit out in the cold weather and to drive 2 hours home, and I don't want to be slipping and sliding all the way. So we are going to the Kentucky-Tennessee border. It's actually in Tennessee. I can't divulge information of where that's at. And we are going. There's the first update. The second update, for those of you that are interested, this happens a lot in the world of Bigfooting. You get someone that contacts you, and they've had a possible incident, they saw something, and then after a while, you say, well, contact me and let me know, and you never hear from them again. But I still like to share the stories of what I heard, because some people like to hear that. Again, everybody does it differently. I have some researchers that say if I didn't have evidence or if I didn't have proof, I wouldn't share it with people. Well, I don't care. I like to share a good story. Who don't like a good story? Amen. Amen. I'm preaching. Joe Potts, hear me? I'm preaching. Amen. I'm going to take up an offering here in a minute. I was contacted by someone that took their grandson. Here's the story that I heard, and it came through 2 people getting to me, and the person who told it said, tell Don Biggyfoot Neal to get a hold of me. I have tried, and they're not getting back to me yet. I believe them 100%. They were totally sincere when they were speaking to my wife. They went to South Carrollton, Kentucky. Here in Muhlenberg County, Kentucky, and South Carrollton is a little town, a little spot in the road on Highway 431 that sits on the banks of the Green River. And they had took their children down to the banks of the river. I don't know the exact location. I've got an idea. I don't know who owns that land, and I won't go there unless I get permission. But they took their grandson down there and was just looking at the water, which is up here. We're kind of flooded at this time. So that's what they were doing there. They're not Bigfooters. They're not squatchers. Don't know that they even believe in such a thing. But what they did see is they ran up on some handprints in the muddy bank, and it caught their attention to the most massive handprints they had ever seen. I'm not sure how many. I'm thinking there were 2. There could be more. And so the man said that they began to inspect the one they could get closest to. Now listen to this. And the way it was explained to me through my wife is that the fingers were stuck into the ground and the palm made a deep impression. The hand was kind of, get this idea right here, and said the fingerprints were unbelievably big around. This man's a big man. I know the man that's telling the story. He's a big fella. He said my fingers would easily fit into it. It was larger than my finger. And the hand itself, from the bottom of the palm, I'm trying to point and hold this phone, from the palm to where the fingers, don't forget, are like this, was longer than the 13-year-old's foot with the shoe on. He put his foot in the handprint. Oh, that just killed my soul, because if I could have got to it, I'd love to have cast that print. Wouldn't that be awesome? But they didn't know. But the teenager sticks his foot in there, and his heel of his foot is at the bottom of the palm of the hand, and it's still longer up to where the fingers are crooked into the mud. It's longer than this 13-year-old boy's. Now, what is a 13-year-old boy? So maybe he's wearing size 8, 9, 10. Some of them got big feet. But they were amazed at a massive, and the fingers were deep in the mud, and the palm print was fairly deep, but not as deep as the fingers, and a couple on the bank. And the man just said, I don't know what it could be, but it had to be the handprints of the largest hands of any man in the world. Isn't that interesting and exciting? So I'm waiting for him to call me. I'd love for him to take me to the spot. I'd love to go there and look at those prints and get you some pictures and get us some cast. But if not, it's an interesting story from a man I sincerely believe, and he wasn't claiming Bigfoot, because I don't know that he even believes in Bigfoot. So that's my other update. And I believe that, is that about everything? Oh, yes, let me tell you this. See, I don't do this full time, but I could. I could easily, and I don't claim to be anything, but folks, I can't imagine how you full-time researchers do this. I'm just, like I say, for a hobby, and I'd call myself a part-time researcher. I get messages constantly, text constantly, phone calls, letters in the mail. I get contacted constantly. On my YouTube channel, people are constantly sharing with me stories, events, incidents that they've had, and it just blows my mind. I could stay at this all the time, but a man's got to make a living, and like I say, I've got a career and a calling on my life, but I sure love this Bigfooting on the side. This is a squatchy area, by the way. I keep looking. I have about 8 reports within a 2-mile radius of where I'm standing right now, and I'm outside of Island, Kentucky, in McLean County. I'll tell you, this part of the country down here is alive and well with Bigfoot. But let me go on. A lady contacted me this morning on my YouTube channel and said, I love watching your videos, and she said, I seen a Bigfoot on my half-acre property right outside of Centertown, Kentucky. That's in Ohio County. And so I've contacted her back. I don't know her name. Of course, YouTube, people use different names. And I said, if you would love to share that with me, I would be more than excited to hear your story. Now, here's what's exciting about that. I have some friends who live right on the outskirt of Centertown, Kentucky. They have a small farm, and their daughter actually saw a Bigfoot on their property. It ran from their pond right up the hill. She drove up on it on a 4-wheeler by accident. It scared her to death, bless her heart. And this thing stood up on 2 legs, solid black creature, 7 foot or taller, and ran up the hillside away from her. The 4-wheeler made him run away. And so, you know what wouldn't surprise me a bit, and it happens a lot in this field of research, if I ask this lady and she contacts me where she lives, wouldn't surprise me a bit if she lives right on that outskirt of town, maybe even on that same road. It happens all the time. That's what I love. I love when Bigfoot sightings coincide. I love it when you get a report from 2, 3, and even 4 different people, and that happens to me a lot. And each one, unbeknownst to the other one, has had a possible Bigfoot activity or incident in the same area, and they don't know about the other 3. You know what? That's Bible. I'll take that and make that Bible. The Bible said, out of the mouth of any 2 or 3, let a thing be established. Look how I've done that right there. You know, preacher always got to be preaching. God bless you all. I appreciate you listening to this update. It was too much to type, and I'm over here looking around at these woods today, just looking for signs and knocking around a little bit, me and my new Bigfoot hat. And this is an area where I filmed. If you want to go to my YouTube channel, it's under D.Neal, Neal, and I have a YouTube channel with all my findings and research I do, and videos from the KBRO interviews we do. And you'll see video where I'm standing right up there where my truck is. Let me see if I can find it. And in that field right over there, I was really watching the woods over here where the sightings had been taking place. And I heard some movement and go, you'll see the video. And I go over there and this head just keeps popping up, and it pops up and it goes down and it comes out like this and goes down. And anyway, it's exciting. And one of the few times I believe that I was filming the head of a Bigfoot creature, possibly a juvenile, as it was looking at me on the road up here. I believe that. And so anyway, folks, I've rattled on enough. God bless y'all. It's always good. And I'm excited when people ask me that, say, Brother Don, go make another video. So I do it for you. And when I got extra time, and thank you. I see Lloyd William Davis. I see Joe Potts. I see Tiffany. A lot of people. Look at all the people looking in here. I'll tell you, you people are born to watch this old man. So I'm going to leave you with a little bit of scenery, and God bless y'all. Won't you have a great day? And God loves you, and God made Bigfoot. Don't be afraid of him.